A CBS 4 News investigation continues tonight. Nursing home workers sharing their side of the story, opening up about the nursing home tragedy after Hurricane Irma. Tonight, two women fighting back against perceptions the staff didn't care. They share how the 14 deaths at the Hollywood nursing home haunt them, personally and professionally.
Last night, we introduced you to Natasha Anderson, the woman who made repeated calls to Governor Rick Scott asking for help.
In part 2 of our series, we talked to two employees who have lost their jobs and say the stigma attached to the nursing home incident makes it nearly impossible to find new work.
They would only speak to CBS 4 if their names and their faces were hidden. CBS 4 investigator Jim DeFede with the exclusive.
It is a shame the way that the media is saying, you know, like we didn't care, like we didn't care about the patient, that the patient passed away because we didn't take care of them. That's not true. That's not true.
The former employees we spoke to said everyone in the nursing home helped during the storm, checking and tending to residents, even if it wasn't typically their job to do so.
We're making sure that the resident has what they need.
Everybody was working for the patients and just keeping them comfortable.
Like other employees we interviewed, their anger is directed at FP&L.
Maintenance was calling. I was calling. I called like 17 times, to be honest.
During one call, she was told her nursing home wasn't a priority.
And I said, what you mean we're not priority? We're supposed to be priority. This is a nursing home.
Despite the lack of a response from FP&L, the governor, and other state officials, they said they were going to be all right, and they never felt the need to evacuate. Did anyone ever raise the question of evacuating?
No. Like I said, when I left, everything was fine on Monday.
In fact, on that Monday, they admitted 4 patients into the nursing home from Memorial Hospital across the street. And obviously they knew that you were out of AC because I think...
Absolutely.
Right. Your staff was telling them that they had no AC.
Yes.
And they sent them anyway.
Yes.
The whole time that you were here, did you ever hear anyone discuss and debate the idea of maybe we should just pack it up and get all these people out of here?
No. I didn't think we needed it. I didn't think we needed to evacuate on Tuesday when I was here.
She left the nursing home 1 p.m. Tuesday. She said it was warm, but it didn't seem that the heat was a problem.
When I left out of here, everything was going fine. I don't know what happened there.
Got a request from Larkin Community Hospital Behavioral Health Services in Hollywood. There may be casualties. They're requesting ambulance assistance.
She's not breathing.
Okay.
She's on oxygen at this moment.
Okay.
Having a respiratory problem with her. She's getting short of breath now. Her fingers started to change color, slightly blue.
12 hours after she left, starting around 1 a.m., a series of calls were placed to 911 as nursing home residents on the second floor began crashing. When do you realize that people had died here?
I received a phone call around 6:56 from one of my employees, and she said, you need to get here. And I said, what happened? People are dying. That was the word that she used. And I said, what? I got here at 7:05 in the morning, and it was crazy.
She said there was chaos, and she went directly to the second floor to help. What was it like inside?
It was hot. It was very hot because it was a lot of people. It was very, very hot. I don't know what was the temperature, but you can feel it that it was hot.
There were paramedics and employees from Memorial Hospital in all the rooms. In one room, a nursing home resident was crying out in agony as strangers were trying to move her.
They were trying to move a patient who got hip surgery, trying them to sit them down, and I said, you can't sit her down. You need to get a stretcher or a recliner. You can't sit her down. She just had a hip surgery. You can't sit her down. And she was in pain. She was screaming.
These former employees are also angered by this video taken by a family member of 2 of the residents.
She had the time to take a video of their parents, but she didn't have a time to take them out of bed and take them home.
those same loved ones knew what kind of nursing care that we gave. So they're now saying that about us, but that's not true. I mean, why would they have had their loved ones there for so long if we weren't giving them excellent care? Doesn't make sense.
And Jim DeFede is joining us now. And Jim, compelling interviews with these employees at the nursing center, but we know they're not medical personnel.
Correct.
Who was making the medical decisions here?
This is a really important point. The employees we spoke to were in other parts of the hospital. The nursing home. They dealt with housekeeping. They dealt with admissions. They were all pitching in. But this question of who was medically in charge is still one that we're digging deeper into. For instance, there is a medical director for the nursing home. However, we now know that that person was not present during the nursing home. And in fact, the nursing home responds to us saying the law does not require the medical director to be on site. And they was not there. So the question as to who was making those decisions, there was nurses, there were nursing assistants, but we don't know who was making those calls within the nursing home during these hours.
And that's probably not what the expectations of the family members were, I would imagine.
Sure.
And then the other question, Jim, a lot of people were asking, why didn't they just transport the patients across the parking lot to the hospital, to Memorial Regional? Now we know that 4 patients from that hospital came to the nursing home even after they lost electricity.
Right. This was one of the big revelations that we had not known before, that after the nursing home lost power, additional residents were being transferred into the nursing home, many of them from Memorial Hospital across the street. The nursing home says this was one of the reasons why we didn't call the Memorial to try to move our patients to there, because they were calling us to actually move patients from their hospital into our nursing home. As you heard, they said that they claimed that the hospital knew. Now, we got a statement tonight from Memorial Hospital, and let's put that up. We are fully cooperating with the criminal investigation. We will not discuss any HIPAA-protected information. We believe the evacuation saved lives that day. Again, that's also addressing the idea that there was so much commotion, as you heard, that one patient supposedly screaming in pain as people were trying to move her, because it was just chaos in that facility as they were trying to move people out.
CBS 4 investigator Jim DeFede, great work, Jim. Thanks very much.
Jim, thanks a lot. And join us tomorrow night for part 3 of our investigation. Meet a New Orleans attorney now representing Hollywood Hills who compares this tragedy to deaths at a nursing home after Hurricane Katrina. The story right here tomorrow at 7.